Yo, so in the black community, it seems as though mothers can do no wrong. Black moms can do no wrong. I came across this video on Say Cheese. Shout out to Say Cheese. It's a really dope interview. I really liked it. I really enjoyed watching it. It's about FBG Duck's mom, just giving her perspective on different things going on with her son, RIP FBG Duck, who is a Chicago rapper who a few years ago had his life taken away from him. Like I said, it's a really interesting interview. But check this out. I picked up on a few things here. Check this out.
Life was taken from him for $100,000. We ain't gonna talk about that though.
Now you get a lot of flack online because people created this narrative about you that you're a bad mother because you lost multiple kids. You lost two sons, right? And you lost a daughter.
I lost my first child. When I say I lost 5, because I've been pregnant 9 times.
Sheesh. Shorty been pregnant 9 times, lost 5 kids. So that's more than half her kids are gone. Okay, all right.
God has blessed me with 10 kids, okay? My last set was twins. Brick being the oldest and Leandria being the youngest. So in 92, it was a story when I lost my first child in 1992. I was like 16 to 17 years old. And I stayed
16, 17 years old when she lost her first kids. Not when she had her first kids, when she lost her first kids. The question posed was, what do you think about people saying you're a bad mom? She lost her first kids at 16, 17 years old, but that's not how old she was when she first had her first kid. Okay, so she started young, but let's keep watching.
in the project, Shine, and I had Jermaine and Sheldon in a part. I think Jermaine was making 2, and Sheldon probably was going on 1. Sheldon.
Okay, so she lost her first kid when she was 16, 17. Before she lost her first kid, she already had 2 kids. Of that, the oldest was 2, which means she had her first kid when she was about 14 years old. Not pregnant at 14. She had her first kid. It takes 9 months to have a kid. She had her first kid at 14 years old. Okay, all right.
Sheldon was 2, and Jermaine was 2, and Sheldon was 1. But I was pregnant with Javon. It's a drive-by in front of the store, 38th and Cottage Grove. I hear the shots. I dived on them, protecting my 1 and 2-year-old child. That's how I wound up losing my first baby.
Okay, now that's not really her fault. She lost her first kid diving on 2 of her other kids during a drive-by shooting. So that's not her fault. She was trying to be protective of 2 of her kids that were already born. She was pregnant, ended up having a miscarriage. Okay, you get a pass for that. You don't get a pass for having 2 and being pregnant for your 3rd kid at 16. I don't know where do they do that at? But all right. You get a pass for losing your first one. I'm sorry for your loss, Mom, and sorry for the family
that I lost. I dived on them. I heard gunshots. I didn't know what they were coming from. So I dived on my babies, and when I got home, I still wasn't in no pain or nothing. And I woke up the next morning, and that's when I know either my waterbed bust or something. I went to the hospital. And he weighed 2 pounds and 4 ounces. I was 6 months. He weighed 2 pounds, 4 ounces, and he lived 12 hours. That was my first child I lost.
Wow.
2007, when I was in my addiction and I was just all over the place. I lost my 2-month-old baby.
Okay, so she had 2 kids by the age of 16. She lost a kid, and then she got addicted to drugs. So she's got 2 kids. She's addicted to drugs. She's a teenager. I'm not a teenager. She was probably in her 20s at this point. She's saying in 2007, she's probably in her 20s. I'm guessing by the story she's telling. Addicted to drugs, got 2 kids that she had when she was a teenager. And the question at the beginning of the interview was, what do you think about people saying you're a bad mom? I mean, just from what we heard so far, do you think sounds like a good mother or a bad mother? I don't know. I don't know.
From an accidental overland. And that was in 2007.
I don't know what an overlaying is. She said she lost her kid from an accidental overlaying. I've heard of an overdose. What is an overlaying? I don't know what that is. But it sounded like she was doing something when she was addicted, being a bad mother. I don't know. That's what it sounded like to me.
Losing that child made me stop doing drugs, just ready to deal with life on life terms. People don't know my struggle, but the people that know my struggle.
So she got excuses. Off top, she making excuses for losing her kid because she was addicted to drugs. My question is, how is it that you even have custody of these kids? You're addicted to drugs. You had these kids when you were a teenager, and you still got custody? Yo, we got to do better.
You see what I'm saying? So as I'm clean, I'm clean. After 2007, my next child I lost was the twin.
In the fire, right?
Yes, my 3-year-old twin. She passed away in the fire. I was there. So was her sister and my daughter Lachey and Rashid. That's Butters. That's FBG Butters' son.
And that's tough. She lost a kid in the fire. So this is her 3rd kid she lost. She lost the first one, kind of a miscarriage, trying to protect her 2 kids that she already had when she was 16. Okay. And she loses another one because she's strung out on drugs, being negligent. And then on the 3rd one, it's a fire. I don't know the details behind the fire.
He was 8 months.
That's a sad story. That's a sad story. You lost a kid in the fire. That's a tough one. That's a really tough one. She been through a lot. I gotta be honest. She's been through a lot.
Months at the time. So we lost her in that fire. I was there. I got 3rd-degree burns on my feet trying to, it was crazy. That was in 2014. And I lost Brick 9 months after he'd gotten out of jail.
So she lost another kid 9 months after he got out of jail. So that means he was in jail. So, I mean, it's hard to keep track of all these kids. All right, so 1 you lost as a miscarriage, you get a pass for that. The 2nd one you lost due to negligence because you strung out on drugs. The 3rd one you lost in a fire. I don't know where the fire came from. I don't know the details behind the fire. That's a tough one. And you come to your 4th one, he just got out of jail and he's getting shot up. It sounds like a very dangerous household these kids are being raised in. The question, again, mind you, is, do you think this woman is a good mother?
And I kind of think everybody don't know it, but if you look at the story behind King Von and my sons, Brick was the one who allegedly dropped T-Roy's low.
Brick is her oldest son. So she's saying that her oldest son allegedly killed some dude named T-Roy. So she's saying that she raised a murderer, a killer. And she's not saying that with any type of shame. Is this a good mother? I don't know. I mean, because this is the thing. The reason I'm making this video is because it seems as though no matter what they do, we cannot acknowledge that there's a such thing as a bad mother. But when you just hear this story, even when I heard it the first time, I was thinking, I feel bad for the woman because, first of all, it's hard to lose a kid, especially in situations like this. You're trying to protect your kids from a drive-by shooting. You're dumping on them, and then you have a miscarriage. Like, that's a tough situation. Then you lose another kid because, it's due to a fire. Like that's a tough situation. And then this is a mother, so automatically you thinking about this thing as like sympathetic to the mother. But then if you take a step back, it's like, Well, damn, what about these kids though? These kids are being raised in these type of environments, and we always give a pass to the mother, but what kind of reckless parents are these kids being raised up under? And for her to have even custody of the situation, like for her to have custody, how bad did the fathers have to be for a woman to be raising these kids? And it seems like, it seems like she's not doing too good of a job. She's already lost 4, and the video's not even over yet.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
all my kids have been in the mix. I'm not saying they perfect, Sean.
I'm not saying they're perfect, Sean. All her kids are in the mix. Yo, your kids are murderers. They're killers. These women just be making excuses. Like, they no accountability, zero accountability, zero shame. Like, have you no shame?
Right.
Never not saying. But when you compare them to the people that they were into it with, they were angels. I don't give a fuck what nobody say.
Angels.
Because
Okay.
nothing they did was proven. Nothing they did was seen, allegedly. They either some smooth ass criminals or some smart ass street niggas. Because this shit these kids doing.
Either way, she's bragging about her murdering, killing ass kids, talking about they were angels because they didn't get caught, talking about they were angels because they were smooth criminals. So she had 10 kids. These are the ones that's pre-producing. The college-bound kids,
not
nah.
street.
The kids that go to college, they can't find nobody. They can't reproduce. They can't get a mother. They can't get a wife. But the ones killing, shooting, doing all this, being raised on drugs and all that, they popping them out. You ever watch that movie Idiocracy? It's a deep movie. It's not even a movie. It's a documentary. Go check out that movie Idiocracy. Let's finish up this video.
Not the streets I was raised up in. None of this stuff. So when I lost Brick and Kobe, Brick was my oldest son. He died 9 months after he was in jail 4 years for fighting a case. Because the day Taekwon got killed, they were trying to shoot him and wind up shooting Taekwon.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You the first person I ever shared that.
I lost count. So she lost Brick. She lost another one to a fire. She lost another one to the negligence when she's on drugs. She lost another one. Listen, I'm losing count at this point.
With. Okay? I've never spoken on that. So can't nobody tell me what me and my kids then went through or what they appear. Everything them boys tried to do was for survival. Now, when it comes to this rap stuff, I don't care. If you dissing somebody, they all do it. They diss people. So that means somebody should die. If that's the...
Listen, I done heard enough. All I'm hearing is lack of accountability, excuses, and death. So I ask you, to bring it full circle, is there such thing as a bad mother? I don't know.